So in this segment, we're going to be talking about different kind of US Congress people talking about the Northern Ireland Protocol, and yeah, I thought we might as well just compile them into one video rather than giving them their own separate videos because one's a tweet. So this is from Representative Brendan Boyle. Our official joint statement just adopted in Paris. So this is a joint statement between the US Congress and the European Parliament, which says we call upon the UK to implement fully the Northern Ireland Protocol, which avoids a hard border on the island of Ireland, preserves the integrity of the EU market, and protects the Good Friday Agreement in all parts. We agree that renegotiating the protocol is not an option. So there's a couple of different things to say here. The DUP have an issue with the him arguing the full implementation because of the extra, checks needed, etc., things like that, which I guess is probably the easiest argument they can make from such a statement. Obviously avoids a hard border in the island of Ireland. It's really important, and that protects the Good Friday Agreement and the integrity of the EU single market, which is also important because the UK can turn around and say, look, we're going to get rid of checks here. We're not going to put a border in the island of Ireland. If the EU want to do that, that's fine. But obviously the US are saying that's not fine. Don't do this. You have to stop. Essentially, the US saying, if you do this, any hard border will be on you. Any fallout will be on you guys. So Representative Boyle saying that. That's backed by Neil Richmond, not to be confused with Richie Neal, who somehow I confused the two. So he's saying a strong joint statement just agreed in Paris by US congressional and European parliamentary meeting. Looking forward to seeing the US delegation in Dublin on Tuesday, which will be happening on day of recording. You might be wondering about Brendan Neal. Why does he care? Boyle is the elder of two sons. His father, Frank or Francis, is an Irish immigrant who came to the United States. So that's why a congressman from Philae, home of the cheesesteak, would be concerned by this, because obviously it's the land of his father. And to be fair, even if you weren't from a certain country, you still can care about them. Something that British people don't understand. Just because someone isn't from somewhere doesn't mean they have no say over things. Now we've got the big dog. We've got Richie Neal or Richard Neal. He gave out a few statements as well. These are a bit more simmered down compared to Brandon Boyle. So we'll go through Richard Neal's statements as well. So Richard Neal has said the US will be unwavering as is necessary in its support of the Good Friday Agreement. It comes amid heightened tensions over the protocol. Mr. Neal met with Truss on Saturday, just gone, and urged the UK to have good faith talks with the EU to find solutions to the protocol, but the DUP warned the protocol will destroy the Good Friday Agreement. No, it won't. The only people who are going to destroy the Good Friday Agreement are unionists. Let's be honest there. They can argue, again, they keep arguing for the need of cross-community consent, but when it came to Brexit, there was no cross-community consent. So how can you argue for it now? And also, there is no cross-community consent for scrapping the protocol either. So again, their arguments don't make sense. Responding to calls from the US to fully implement the protocol, that's where I said they had issues. Donaldson said implementing the protocol means ending grace periods with an economic tsunami hitting the Northern Ireland Protocol. But again, implementing the protocol in full, but there will still be tweaks made around it. There still could be grace periods and other things accepted in order to keep things moving along. If you are a business in Northern Ireland and you're still getting your supply from Great Britain, you really need to look at alternative suppliers. If you haven't done so, do it. Power sharing only works with cross-community consensus. There is no unionist support for the protocol, he added in a tweet. But there was no cross-community consent for Brexit, though, was there? So once again, what are you talking about, dude? Neal is leading a congressional delegation visiting the UK and Ireland. Mr. Neal described the US as a guarantor of the Good Friday Agreement, which it is. The Good Friday Agreement has worked, and it's quite well, despite the fact that some people in Britain don't understand that. Neal saying we don't want to see it disturbed. Mr. Neal said he believed any issues around the protocol can be negotiated. And again, I don't know if that's the case because the UK are basically hiding behind the DUP. The UK, the DUP saying they're not going to go until checks in the Irish Sea are stopped. So again, the UK are saying, well, we have to make changes because Stormont can't be open because if the DUP are saying they won't go back into Stormont unless, parts of the protocol are scrapped, then essentially negotiations won't work. So that's a clear problem. A clear message that we offer to the UK: if they want to negotiate and you say you can, and you say you want to negotiate, there should be a negotiation. Again, really weird kind of phrasing. Maybe it's an American thing, I don't know. But yeah, essentially saying if both sides want to negotiate, it will happen. Their visit comes after Trust announced on Tuesday that new legislation would be introduced to change the protocol. Rishi Neal, I think, timing his visit after that, after those kind of things come out. Foreign Secretary met the congressional delegation on Saturday. Truss said the UK had a cast iron commitment to the Good Friday Agreement, and the UK keep acting as if we're the only people who have a vested interest in it. Neil thanked mistrust for frank discussion regarding our duty to protect the protect peace and stability on the island of Ireland. We don't know specifically what was said, but I'd be amazed if he didn't say the Northern Ireland Protocol is the thing that protects the Good Friday Agreement. Stop messing around. I'd be amazed if he didn't say something on those lines. He urged good faith negotiations with the EU to find durable solutions for post-Brexit trade between GB and NI. So again, we'll see good faith negotiations. The British government, don't know if that works. I'm genuinely concerned. I don't think the UK know how to do that. Earlier this week, Pelosi urged both the UK and the EU to continue to preserve progress and stability brought about by the Good Friday Agreement. So you've got 3 different congressional people there. Although Pelosi is Speaker of the House, so she wouldn't really be a congresswoman, would she? Very confusing system. The Good Friday Accords are the bedrock of peace in Northern Ireland, which is true. It is the thing that's kept it together, really, and a beacon of hope for the entire world. That I guess through negotiations and compromise, things can happen. Both sides had to compromise for the Good Friday Agreement to work, and it has worked for the most part. It is deeply concerning that the United Kingdom now seeks to unilaterally discard the Northern Ireland Protocol, which preserves the important progress and stability forged by the Accords. Which is true that by doing this, the UK does put the Good Friday Agreement in jeopardy. Pelosi's comments were condemned by Lord Frost, who claimed she was ignorant of the realities in Northern Ireland. If you're an expert, please tell us the deal that you negotiated and agreed to, right? Please tell us why that's causing a problem in Northern Ireland. Please, I'll wait. DUP Northern Ireland Assembly member Gordon Lyons said the representative must recognise that the protocols undermine the Good Friday Agreement, which he claimed representatives had continually misunderstood. That's not true, though, because it hasn't. The only one who misunderstands that is you, big boy. Because the Northern Ireland Protocol stops a hard border going on the island of Ireland and puts it in the Irish Sea. Where does the Good Friday Agreement talk about that? He does talk about the fact that the Good Friday Agreement talks about the need for cross-community consent, but you never got that when you supported Brexit, did you? So again, these sorts of arguments, they make no sense. It is high time the American administration recognised the fundamental importance of securing the support of both Unionists and Nationalists, he said. Why didn't you get that for Brexit then? Without such support, devolution cannot function, which is true to an extent that cross-community consent is needed for big decisions, but Northern Ireland was always going to be the main issue around Brexit, because where do you put the border there? That was always going to be a problem. And so during the Brexit negotiations, they should have asked both Sinn Féin and the DUP, or at least both sides, the Nationalists and the Unionists, what they thought about the Northern Ireland Protocol and the impacts it would have. And when the Unionists would have turned around and said, actually, no, we don't want that, that it should never have happened in the first place. Now you're trying to scrap the protocol without getting nationalist consent. How does that make sense? If you need cross-community consent to make big decisions, surely keeping the protocol and scrapping the protocol is one of those big decisions. But anyways, look, I'm going to leave it there. A good American intervention, those are rare. How many times do you ever hear anyone say, oh yeah, thank God the Americans intervened? But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one.